So 30 years removed from the deadly siege and standoff at Mount Carmel, there's still a lot of misinformation and competing narratives attempting to define, revise, and redefine these events.
David KORESH'S statutory rape of underage girls did not come under the jurisdiction of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, whose agents attempted to execute a dynamic entry on February 28, 1993, resulting in the deaths of 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians, with many wounded. And I want to go on and explain that in 1992, Texas Child Protective Services investigated the Branch Davidians for child abuse and closed the case for lack of evidence. The Branch Davidians federal agents conflict in 1993 was interactive, with multiple parties interacting with each other.
Take the care of the attorney, other scholars, we were very happy to find out that the waiting period was over. And now David is coming out. He said, I just have to write my message. Write my message to the 7 seals, and we all will come out. And the FBI said, the old FBI said, oh yeah, we can wait. But they didn't. They did not wait. It's a sad thing. So why did the FBI not understand? Why did the media not understand? Because religious language is the language that the Branch Davidians were speaking. If they needed to bring in worldview translators to explain what the Branch Davidians were teaching.
These people, during the 51 days, lied completely to you, over and over again. And they started with the dogs. People, let's be real. They came in and they shot the dogs first thing with 5 Alaskan Malamutes in a penned-up area. That's how they do it. This is what the militaristic ATF does. They go in and they take the dogs out. Let's not be deceived. Let's not be fooled. You can interview all the ATF and FBI guys you want, all right, as a journalist. If you're going to continue to put in false propaganda, you are the part of the problem in this country. And you're the reason that we are so close to what literally could be a civil war. It's incredibly irresponsible. It lacks any kind of professional merit whatsoever. And it makes me wonder, is that what they want? I believe that those helicopters fired into the building. I saw the evidence in the sheetrock, in the ceiling, and the roof. I saw the evidence in the water tank. And I'll never forget Kevin Whitecliffe coming up to me that morning after the ceasefire, yelling and screaming. They came in shooting. I said, yeah, that all started from the front. That's what it sounded like to me being in the cafeteria. Kevin was out the back, and Kevin said, no, and he's screaming and yelling it very passionately. This is not someone who was lying to me. He says, no, the helicopters came in shooting. I saw them come in and shoot at us. And I'm like, what do you mean? From the back? He said, yes. And they're humanized. That's all we've ever wanted, was to tell the stories of the people. I want to talk about the people today, because that really is what it's all about, and that's what's going to happen here after this press conference.
This is the first time I've been back in Waco for one of these. I didn't even know that they were happening until I heard about the Zoom meetings. So it's really neat to be here in this place with so many people that I've only met online for the last few years. And to be here with Paul and Kathy and David, Heather and Kevin, and Sheila somewhere out there. I'm going to say a little bit about Clyde and his family. Karen and I were both married to him. She babysat my children. And she's just a wonderful, sweet person. She wanted to have her own children, and she never did. But she was just one of the sweetest person you would ever meet. They are well aware who their father is. I started our own little memorial every year on this date. I wrote the names of the children who are their brothers and sisters in a little notebook, and I would read them to them. I just say who they are, because I didn't want them to lose the connection to where they've been, or to where I've been, their history.
Clive was a really good man. He was smart and kind, and he was a good chiropractor. Anytime we needed him, he would always come over and give us a treatment. And it will never be the same without everybody. My dad was the best man ever. And to this day, I still don't understand why he was taken away from us. It's not fair. And to live with never having answers for the rest of my life. It's hard to deal with, and it's hard to live the rest of your life. Thinking back, what happened?
There's just no getting over this.
And she's right, it doesn't go away. I'm back into life, I'm doing what you guys are doing, paying bills, working, going through all that, but it's still with you. I went to the memorial yesterday and looked at the memorial site, and it brought back a lot of feelings, from sadness to anger. My son was one of the kids that grew up there. He played with the kids, normal kids playing. It was great times. They enjoyed it. It was difficult for him, like with Heather. He has a lot of guilt, survivor's guilt, because all his friends that he grew up with and played with are gone. So he's married now. I have a 15-year-old granddaughter. He owns 4 restaurants in San Diego. So he's very successful. He's doing really well.
We're just very thankful for all the years, for all the things that everyone has done and said, and all their support. The most important thing is that we were trying to show that we could have forgiveness in our hearts no matter what happened. All the ugliness, the unhappiness, all the sadness, there was still to be forgiveness in our hearts for whatever happened to us. We were taught that by Christ on the cross. And we look forward to just seeing everyone again, to seeing a better life, better world. And no matter how much it hurts every time we think of the fire and we think of the pain our family went through inside that place at that time, we still have hope that our Heavenly Family is going to make everything right.